On News Hour tonight, bandits rustle 500 cows, 150 sheep in 5 Katsina villages. 19 passengers killed, 26 injured in Kano auto crash. APC, PDP in Zamfara trade words over banditry and insecurity. And on the foreign scene, 1 killed in Sudan as thousands protest against military rule. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. The news in full. At least over 500 cows, 150 sheep as well as goats have been rustled by bandits in Imwala, Jino, Ansauni, Barawa and Tunkuri villages of Batagarawa and Bazari local government areas in Katsina State. The bandits who stormed the villages in their hundreds also got away with money and other valuables, estimated at about 15 million naira. Trust TV's Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the story.
According to the locals, the bandits engaged in house-to-house search of cows, sheep, goats and any other valuable stormed communities on motorcycles, shooting sporadically to scare the villagers. At Kaladu and Jino villages, the bandits went away with 4 motorcycles, in addition to animals and other valuables. This is the 3rd time the bandits are attacking Jino, Barawa and Kaladu villages, all in Batagarawa local government. The bandits, according to the villagers, were scared by the police after hearing shootings from all angles, but yet they went away with all the animals and other valuables from the villagers. When they came at night, we were so many, but you know, I'm a cripple. I can't run. All the rest of the people who were sitting together, they ran away and I was left alone. They met me and they asked me to show them houses where there is motorcycle, where there are animals such as cows and so on. They forced me to show them the houses. They went into every house here and they collected my phone, and of course they collected over 20,000 naira from me. The village head thanked the villagers and the police who mobilized to disperse the bandits and called for more prayers for God's protection. He said as it is now, prayer and adequate mobilization to confront the bandits is the only option to secure communities being ravaged by criminals. The bandits came in large number. They came at night around 11 o'clock. They attacked us. They went into every house here in search of valuables, motorcycles, cows and any other thing you may think of. They were shooting at all angles. We thank the police, the security and civil defense corps who are just very close to us here, and we thank them for their gesture. We commended their efforts. When contacted, the police public relations officer, Katsina State Police Command SP Gambo Isa, confirmed the attack and told Trust Television that the bandits were dispersed by the police using armored personnel carrier and recovered some animals. In Katsina, Abdullahi Ismayamadi reporting for Trust Television News.
Armed men loyal to terror kingpin known as Bello Turji, who are currently displaced by NAF attacks on their enclaves in Fake Forest in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara state, are regrouping in another forest in the western part of the state. Daily Trust reports that the armed bandits are erecting dozens of new thatched huts in the area just inside the forest. Residents say the criminals are moving on motorbikes, with some of them walking and goading herds of cattle. On Wednesday, the armed men attacked about 5 communities in Kurfa Danya, Kurfa Magaji, Rafingiru, Tungar Isa and Barayar Zaki in Bukuyum and Anka local government areas. Residents say about 60 people were killed. The villages are a few kilometers apart. Residents further said the remains of those killed are being picked for burial. They said a lot of people are afraid to go deep inside the bushes to recover the bodies of the slain persons. Spokesman of the State Police Command, SP Muhammad Shehu, could not be reached for comment up until the time of filing this report. Armed bandits killed 2 passengers and abducted 40 others along Gembu Bali Road in Taraba State Wednesday evening. Daily Trust reports that the bandits, who were armed, blocked the Jamtari Gayam axis along Gembu Bali Road and abducted passengers into the forest. Police spokesperson of Taraba Police Command, DSP Usman Abdullahi, confirmed the incident but said the number of passengers abducted is yet to be ascertained. The passengers abducted include women and children and were taken at gunpoint into the forest, which is surrounded by mountains. The bandits also shot at approaching vehicles, forcing drivers to stop. 2 of the passengers of a commercial bus died. Motorists and other road users were said to have deserted the road Wednesday evening following the attack on motorists by the bandits along the road.
Armed bandits have killed 2 people and abducted over 40 passengers along 30 Valley Road. The incident happened yesterday at around 1:30. A source from the area told TV Trust that the bandits blocked the road and started shooting on approaching vehicles, forcing drivers to stop. They took the victim into the forest, and up to now their whereabouts is unknown. The spokesperson of Taraba Police Command, DSP Usman Abdullahi, confirmed the incident but said the number of those abducted cannot be ascertained at this moment. In a related development, the community of Mehula Emboli local government chased about 600 strangers that came into the town in 2 trucks. The community mostly suspected that the strangers are bandits. Reported.
Meanwhile, some Zaria residents expressed shock and dismay after police arrested a woman and another syndicate procuring women for bandits in the forest. The suspects have told investigators how they assisted the bandits in return for monetary benefits. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu has the report.
As a result of the incessant banditry in Zaria town of Kaduna State, some residents take advantage of the situation to supply bandits with young women for the sake of prostitution, which has become a means of business. A youth, Muslim Abubakar, a resident of Sakadadi in Zaria, who sells mobile phones and accessories at PZ Sabungari, and a 23-year-old lady, Fatima Jabir, confessed that the bandits reached out to them to procure women for them in their enclave in Gadaumawa Forest.
They asked me to find girls for them, and I said I would. So I called Ummi, and she said we have to go to the person in charge of the mission. So we went there. I gave the girls out for prostitution, and if the girls refuse to comply, the bandits may shoot us.
Also from Zaria, Mariam Abubakar is accused of taking women to bandits in the bushes, including her own relatives, for a fee.
For more than 10 years now, I have been supplying bandits with women, including my own children and relatives.
The case of Jumai Al-Hassan, a housewife living in Tankara ward of Madaki in Zaria, is even more sympathetic. She said fear of her own life and abduction of her loved ones made her submit herself to one of the bandits in the bush.
The bandits threatened to kidnap me and my family. One of them said if I don't sleep with him, he will kidnap me. I begged him not to, but he refused. After he was done with me, at first he refused to give me transportation fare, but he later gave me 5,000 naira.
However, some other residents of the village addressed the dastard act while condemning those who aid the bandits.
Unfortunate. It's unfortunate. A woman taking her children for sexual benefits. Oh, it is unfortunate for a woman to take her children to unknown people for sexual benefit. She is also a bandit, honestly speaking, because how can you take yourself to bandits for sexual pleasure and said that you are doing it for protection of your husband. It's a lie.
Her father.
Her father is a lie. So let the authority prosecute that woman if she's in their hand.
Yes.
Personally, I think it's rather unfortunate because I had to concede with open mind and without prejudice that despite the austere economic condition, but I think it would be very, very unfortunate for a woman to trade or to take her daughters to the bandits actually for monetary gain. I think it's unfortunate, and it would be too disingenuous for me to not to say that people should not and should not be doing this kind of a thing, no matter how overstretched they are.
Activities of banditry, kidnapping, and now a business avenue of supplying women to bandits have become a menace in which security operatives put in efforts to arrest and prosecute perpetrators.
Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has confirmed the death of at least 19 passengers in a fatal accident involving 2 commercial buses at Bagauda in Bebeji local government area of Kano State. 26 other passengers were also reported to have sustained various degrees of injuries. The accident, according to FRSC Sector Commander in the state, Zubairu Matu, happened on Thursday morning around 7:25 a.m. when the 2 vehicles carrying 45 passengers collided at Bagauda, close to the Nigerian Law School Kano campus. The sector commander said the victims are at Kura General Hospital for treatment, while all the corpses have been handed over to the deceased relatives by the police for burial. And the vehicles involved in the accident have been handed over to Bebeji Police Division in Bebeji local government area of the state. And ahead of Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration, some ex-servicemen in Kebbi State have called on the federal government to fulfill its earlier promise of providing them with befitting accommodation after retirement. Trust TV's Hamza Galadima has more on the report.
The 15th of January is set aside annually in Nigeria to remember as well as honor the heroes of the 2 world wars and the Nigerian Civil War, during which parades are held and flowers laid at the foot of the unknown soldier. Elaborate ceremonies are held in all the states of the Federation, celebrating the heroic contribution of the ex-servicemen to the unity of Nigeria and the peace of the world at various times and places, culminating in a military parade by both serving and retired personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. The week-long celebration also includes the sales of emblem to raise money for families of deceased servicemen and women who sacrificed their lives to preserve the territorial integrity of Nigeria. But after retirement from the armed forces, what is life like for the retired ex-servicemen that are still alive? The Kebbi State chairman of the Nigerian Legion sums up the plight of retired ex-servicemen as far as getting another job after retirement is concerned.
Really, we are appealing for that government to help us so that our retired soldiers will get employment. Because some areas, there are some, before there is, but now they say retired they cannot give this. Even there are some of our people who are working somewhere and they stop them. Why? Because they are retired soldiers. Before we have them in the school, sergeant, and other ministry and so on. But now I think there's no one.
Other ex-servicemen who spoke to Trust TV News highlighted that even though they are being paid their pensions on a regular basis, there is an outstanding promise by the federal government that is yet to be fulfilled, that of providing them with befitting accommodation after retirement.
Whatever you are doing, there is some other aspect of maybe amenities, social amenities that we require, like some of our seniors who fought the Civil War. When they are in disengaging, we are promised to, the government promised to build houses and give them cars. And that promise has not been fulfilled. And we too, when we came back, we are told the same thing. So some of those things that's what things that will motivate us. It's not that when you spend the whole of your life defending your country and you attain a certain age, you're supposed to come, when you come back, to enjoy that you are aging without even working. So government is supposed to fulfill some of those promises they made, like building houses for the ex-servicemen and maybe providing some incentives like loans for we to engage in farming.
As we celebrate, remember and honor the memory of soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the nation and those who are still alive but in retirement, how best are we showing them the love and care they deserve? Hamza Galadi Mazuru, Trust TV News from Birnin Kebbi.
The founder of a civil society organization under the aegis of One Love Foundation, Patrick Eholo, has condemned in strong terms the ongoing demolition of part of Central Hospital Benin and allegations of planned sale of the State Library by the Edo State government. Trust TV's Nafisa Bello has the details.
Reacting to the alleged demolition exercise, the rights activist Patrick Eholo, in an exclusive interview, said there is no wisdom in the reason advanced by the Edo State government for the demolition of the about 100-year-old health facility, adding that it is the only hospital that the middle class and the indigent poor get access to medical care.
It was disheartening to me when I went to specialist hospital to visit the sick and at least assist them with the little I can in this Christmas period, during the time of my celebration of my birthday. And I saw the hospital being taken apart, and I said, are they doing construction to accommodate the sick? But it surprised me that I was told that he's going to build a sort of I thought we have resolved it. He's building a museum. But if you go to 1999 Constitution, subsection 14, it clearly tells you that the people come first. That's the basic of democracy. That's the foundation. The people come first. Because without the people, there's no government. So I'm surprised that as a technocrat, overrated governor, does not know the meaning of a hospital.
On the issue of the alleged sale of the State Library, a public social amenity by the state government, Eholo highlighted the importance of a library in a society and called on the state government to put a halt to the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, as none has been implemented over the years.
Things seem to be wrong and things are not working well and I'm stressed. I took refuge in the library to read the little that I read today, that I get to know today. And the pathetic part of it is that most of the elites you have in this state today, they all read in that library. They all were informed in that library. And what now happened? Why can't they speak? How can we have a brain drain in our state? How can you be selling a library to replace an investment coming from South Africa, whether it's shop right or shop wrong? How dare you? And nobody's speaking? And yet, Godjo Obaseki cannot give us another library before he destroys the only existing library. Something is wrong.
Meanwhile, following hues and cries from members of the public and the opposition party APC in Edo State, late last year, the state government said it was relocating and not demolishing the health facility. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News Benin.
Meanwhile, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, have agreed to strengthen existing partnership and synergy between the two agencies in various areas of operation, especially in the fight against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. The commitment is the high point of a courtesy visit by the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, to the Chairman, Chief Executive of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, at the Anti-Drug Agency's national headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. The NSCDC boss said he is on the visit to tap from the knowledge and experience of General Marwa in transforming NDLEA within a short time and seek for synergy and collaboration between the two agencies, while noting that he has continued to follow Marwa's antecedents and achievements in public service since he was still a student. The NDLEA chief executive commended the NSCDC boss for bringing his experience and intellectual capacity on the work of the Corps. He said whatever has been achieved in the past year in the NDLEA is due to the grace of God, as well as the commitment of officers and men of the agency. You're still watching Trust TV News Hour. Coming up after the break, the plight of war orphans in focus. This and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
The board and management of Media Trust Limited invites the general public to its annual Daily Trust Dialogue, themed 2023, The Politics, Economy and Insecurity. Date, 20th January 2022. Location, NAF Conference Center and Suites, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Chairman of the occasion, former Head of State, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, GCFR. Guest Speaker, Governor of Kaduna State, Malan Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. Guest Speaker, Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer David Umahi. Guest Speaker, former Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mrs. Ifueko Omoigui Okauru. Moderator, Executive Director, Daria Media Nigeria Limited, Kadariya Ahmed. The event will be transmitted live on Trust TV, and all participants must observe COVID-19 protocols and wear their face masks. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A look at some of our top stories. At least 500 cows, 150 sheep, as well as goats have been rustled by bandits in Imwala, Jino, Dansauni, Barawa, and Tunkuri villages of Batagarawa and Batsari local government areas in Katsina State. And Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has confirmed the death of at least 19 passengers in a fatal accident involving 2 commercial buses at Bagauda in Bebeji local government area of Kano State. And moving on to other news now, President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday received briefing from former President Goodluck Jonathan at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on the political development in the Republic of Mali. A special meeting of ECOWAS, which holds in Ghana on Sunday to deliberate on the political situation in Mali, is subject of the parley between the head of state ECOWAS mediation team, former President Jonathan, and President Buhari. In a separate statement earlier issued on Thursday, President Buhari, who also received a special envoy from Colonel Assimi Koita, the transitional president of Mali, promised that Nigeria will do her level best for the sister country within the requirements of ECOWAS. Colonel Abdoulaye Maiga, Mali's Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, led a team which briefed President Buhari on conclusions from the National Conference on State Rebuilding held in Bamako on December 27th to 30th, 2021. Responding to the comprehensive briefing, the president said nobody could love Mali more than Malians themselves, counseling that everyone should work within the tenets of ECOWAS in order to restore constitutional order to the West African country at the shortest possible time. The special envoy expressed gratitude to Nigeria for support to his country in terms of bilateral relations and for the help rendered to the ECOWAS mediation team led by former President Goodluck Jonathan. He said the vision of Colonel Koita is to speedy recovery of return to democracy, adding that Mali wants to review laws guiding elections and professionalize the process. A support group for the presidency of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the 2023 presidential race, Opinion Leaders Consolidation Group, says the Vice President is the man with the credentials to take Nigeria to the promised land. Speaking when they paid a courtesy call on the management of Media Trust, its chairman Alhaji Shatima Umar Abbagana said they are rooting for the Vice President out of patriotism and because he is proven competence. Ali Usman now reports.
As the electioneering process for the 2023 general elections gets into gear, different interest groups are already canvassing the positions of their favored candidates for the nation's top job. One of such organizations is the Opinion Leaders Consolidation Group, which promotes the candidacy of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the presidency.
We feel he's eminently suitable because a lot of us have had contact with him in the past and we know about him, and we think he is a very, very good material for this leadership position.
At the meeting with the management of Media Trust Limited, the group admits that it is acting on its own volition and isn't deterred by the Vice President previously denying any interest in the presidential race. Its chairman, Alhaji Shatima Umar Abbagana, said Vice President Osinbajo is a good man and they have resolved to promote his candidacy.
First of all, he's a good Nigerian and an honest Nigerian. And I know his honesty because I personally have seen it. Okay, I'm from Lagos, and therefore I know what I'm talking about. So if somebody who has shown honesty, has shown loyalty to the government, loyalty to Mr. President as he's serving now, and is a very sound person, because if you talk to him, you now know the man is probably a professor of law and has been practicing law, and very sound and very, very humble and very, very even. And the way he carries himself is what has impressed most of us.
The entourage, which also includes former Senator Joseph Akagege, also commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his neutrality in the politics of who succeeds him. Aliyu Usman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
A support group working for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's presidential bid in 2023, High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, said most Nigerians are demanding that Atiku recontest the presidency in 2023. Dokpesi, who chairs the Consultative Technical Committee for Atiku Abubakar's presidential bid in 2023, stated this in Yola during a meeting with stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party on the possibility of Atiku recontesting for president in 2023. The report.
This
This is a gathering of members of the Opposition People's Democratic Party in Adamawa. The meeting here is at the instance of the support group working for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's presidential bid in 2023, chaired by High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, founder of Africa Independent Television, AIT. Their mission is to feel the pulse of Nigerians and also canvass support of stakeholders within the PDP for the possibility of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar recontesting for the presidency in 2023 following his defeat as the flag bearer of the PDP in the 2019 polls. Various stakeholders who spoke at the occasion expressed the belief that given the circumstances which the country has found itself, only a person with proven track record of performance and capacity as a unifier in the mold of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar would be able to steer the country out of its present quagmire.
2023 is approaching again. Now that the economy of the country has totally collapsed, now that it is our children cannot find employment, now that it is very glaring that we need a unifier for this country, that we need somebody who is sound, that we need somebody who has business acumen, who has investment, and you are living witnesses here in Adamawa. He has the wealth of experience, he has the maturity, and he has the wherewithal to be able to properly lead this country out of its quagmire.
But for Atiku Abubakar, sir, I can assure you, Adamawa is sealed for him. Since then, the people of the Northeast have been contributing their quota for whoever emerges as a president in this country. But this time around, Nigeria believes that we need salvation. And the entire people of Nigeria believe that Atiku is the only solution. And he is the one to salvate us.
However, reacting to insinuations that the governors under the platform of the People's Democratic Party may go against the candidature of Atiku Abubakar, should he seek to run for the presidency, again under the party, Dokpesi said it was the reason the Technical Consultative Committee was out on the road to feel the pulse of the people, adding that everywhere the group has gone in the 24 states, the candidacy of Atiku Abubakar has received overwhelming support.
You can see there was overwhelming support here today, and that is how it has been everywhere in the 24 states we have gone to. By the grace of God, when we are rounding up in the next couple of days, we will brief Waziri Atiku Abubakar. We will bring in all these other factors.
Meanwhile, a northern group, Arewa Consensus Assembly, is calling for the zoning of the APC presidential ticket to the southwestern part of the country for fairness and inclusivity. Chairman of the group, Daniel Shawulu, made the call in Kaduna. He said calls for retention of power in the north is unpatriotic.
The joint conference resolved and hereby declares that it is appropriate, invariable and inescapable that the choice of the presidency in the 2023 election must emerge from the southwest region of Nigeria. The consequences of the not failure to assist and participate in ensuring and supporting rotation of power to the southwest will be dire for the short and the long-term political and developmental interests and relevance of the North. Failure to urgently and actively support and participate in this objective may divide the North irreparably and potentially sever the political alignment within the North. Such a division or misalignment will damage the North politically and potentially erode the influence of the North in presidential and National Assembly leadership electoral selection processes. Accordingly, the joint conference says that it is abhorrent, unacceptable, and roundly rejected by Nigerians that a presidential and vice presidential ticket will be dominated by candidates of the same faith, such as Muslim or Christian. Under no circumstances should any aspiring or hopeful political candidate candidacy be a consideration in the current national state of Nigeria. The joint conference, after considering religious demography of Nigeria, sentiments, views, and opinions across the country, concludes and recommends that a more probable electoral ticket will be a Christian Southern Western candidate matched with a Muslim vice from the north. Nigeria for long has been suffering from inconsistency of implementation of policies and programs. Although the Joint Conference met its adverse deliberations, considerations, and resolutions in the broader interests of the North, and not partisan or specific candidacy, the Joint Conference notes that the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, SAN, GCON, fits and addresses the question of balance, qualities, and attributes expressed and resolved by the Joint.
And still talking politics, a faction of the ruling APC, or Progressives Congress in Zamfara State, has accused the People's Democratic Party in the state of attempting to tarnish the good image of Governor Bello Muhammad as a plot to win the 2023 general election. The APC faction, loyal to Governor Muhammad, made the accusation while reacting to a call by the opposition PDP in the state, calling on Governor Muhammad to be alive to his constitutional duty to address the security challenges currently facing Zamfara State.
These miners and the bandits, even though both operate in the bushes of the state. I would also urge you, gentlemen of the press, to carry out an investigative report on this. That when His Excellency Governor Bello Matola Maradu was still in the PDP and facing serious security challenges, neither the PDP national leadership, now it is governors shared the pains of Zamfara until they were put to shame by the APC, which came in full force to commensurate with the people and the government of our dear state before they shamelessly copied from such visits. Also, you remember the governor had challenged all the good leaders of the state to come forward and swear with the Holy Quran that they have no hand in supporting armed banditry in the state, and for them to also join him to passion out best way of addressing the insecurity within the state.
In the meantime, the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Zamfara State has challenged Governor Bello Muhammad to explain how he spent the sum of 7 billion and 70 million naira released to his office in 2019, as well as the 12 billion 120 million naira released to him in 2020 and 2021 as cash allocation and security votes. The state PDP Chairman Professor Kabiru Jabaka threw the challenge to the state governor while reacting to accusations leveled against the deputy governor Mahadi Gusau and some stalwarts of the party in a recent press briefing by the publicity secretary of the Matawalle-led APC in the state, Yusuf Idris, calling on the deputy governor to explain how he spent 700 million naira released to his office as cash allocation monthly.
350 million for the OEG, 30 million PPS, 30 million government house. In 7 months, this amounts to 7 billion, and 70 million. 7 billion and 70 million. For the year 2020, if you add up these amounts all together, it amounts to 24 billion. 240 million. Just try and calculate it. The year 2021, the same thing. It amounted to 24 billion 240 million. This is to say, in summary, that the Office of the Executive Governor collected on these things we mentioned, security board, CEO of the Office of, OEG, Office of the Executive Governor, PPS, Government House, 31 billion 310 million. This is a very serious issue. And the PDP is calling on the State Assembly to invite His Excellency to tell us what he did with these amounts of money.
And away from politics, thousands of people with eye ailments in Katsina State are undergoing surgeries and other free treatments, while patients with minor ailments will receive glasses and eye drops during an outreach program at Katsina Eye Center. In Katsina, Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the story.
Speaking at the opening session of the outreach center, the chairman of Masari Foundation, who is also the Kagaman Katsina, Alhaji Kabir Ahmad Maishi, said all the people with eye ailments who attended will be treated free of charge. He maintained that the idea is to support people with eye ailments to regain their sight and make them productive members of the society.
You try to assist. Last time we gave the crippled wheelchairs, I think about 3 or 4, 5, 6 months. Then we said, okay, let's go and do this eye cataract. The next one we'll be thinking of hernia hydrocele, because many people are suffering from those type of things and they don't have the economic will to get treated.
The medical director, Katsina Eye Center, Dr. Ahmad Tijani Kofarbai, said the eye care program by the Masari Foundation will assist greatly in reducing and restoring the sight and prevent blindness in Katsina State. The program being offered to people with eye ailments will remove the economic barrier of the people suffering from eye ailments to have access to medical care. This will go a long way in not only reintegrating the people into the larger society, but also allow them to participate actively in the economic activities and improve on their economic status.
Funded by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari Youth Empowerment Foundation has deemed it important, to consider conducting eye camp. That is providing eye care to a large population of the good people of Katsina State and even beyond.
A cross-section of the beneficiaries of the eye treatment said they were blind before the treatment, but they are hopeful that they will regain their sight. They thanked the foundation for the gesture and called on other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the Masari Foundation. The outreach treatment program for people suffering from eye ailments is expected to cover the 3 senatorial zones of Katsina, Funtua and Daura. The medical team is also expected to spend 7 days in each of the senatorial zones. In Katsina, Abdullahi Ismail reporting for Trust Television News.
And as the world marks War Orphans Day, analysts in Maiduguri have called on government to support children orphaned by insurgency in Borno State. According to UNICEF, about 9 million children in the northeast lost both parents due to terrorist activities of Boko Haram. Some analysts in Maiduguri says neglecting homeless orphans could make them vulnerable to crime if not supported with education and special attention.
The approach is, though the state government here is doing its best, but the magnitude of the children in the streets is more than their capacity, because these children are war orphans. And you know what war orphans comes along with. It comes with psychological trauma of unpleasant experiences, which carries them to, if carried to adulthood, may have a significant effect on the society. So for them to play a role, we have to sit down and plan the future for them. We should have an implementation plan where the future will be certain for us to determine or to say that these children will be better in the society. And that is only if it could be done through giving them a sound education.
Vulnerable and there's soft targets, because most of them are not even documented for them to get any humanitarian aid. So they are the most vulnerable sub-targets for being recruited if they see the opportunity for being recruited. The government needs to document them and make provision for adoption or foster them in a proper home where they will be really catered for. Their emotional, their psychosocial, and their physical health should be looked into. More humane, we should be more understanding towards people, towards children, and we should be ready to adopt and foster those orphans. Need to be a lot of sensitization and putting it into action. Sensitize, follow up, implement, evaluate it, monitor it. It cannot end just like that out of the blues.
Morning of Monday, we finished praying our early morning prayers. Then we had gunshot. My father call all of us to his room. We were thinking it was soldiers. Then, but few minutes later, 3 people came into our house with guns and pushed us outside. Then they told my parents to stay and tell us to go inside. We are just about going inside. We had gunshot. When we turned up to see what happened, they had killed both of them. Then myself and my younger brother, my sister, we trekked from Bama to Kondga, that is 25 miles in one day. We saw people leaving the town in confusion. I want to be a medical doctor because I want to help the other people that they don't have, those that they are vulnerable, they don't have anything to do. If I go to their house, if I see their parents, I'm thinking their parent is my parent.
You're still watching Trust TV News Hour. The news continues after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Trust TV News Hour. Now moving on to business news. Kano State Ministry of Planning and Budget has confirmed that the state budget for 2022 is above the projected available resources as contained in the 2022 to 2024 Economic and Fiscal Update, Fiscal Strategy Paper and Budget Policy Statement due to improvement of new potential areas of internal revenue generation and the capital receipt. Addressing a news conference, State Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Nurat Ankade, said the approved budget assented to by the state governor stands. The 2022 budget is higher than that of 2021 by 24%.
The year 2022 budget is estimated at the sum of 159,726,217,984 naira 68 kobo, which consists of 38,152,447,291 naira 68 kobo internally generated revenue, that's the IGR, and 121,573,770,693 naira revenue from the Federation account and statutory allocations, as against the 2021 total recurrent revenue of 107,838,360,299 naira 78 kobo. By extension, the 2022 recurrent revenue is higher than that of the year 2021 by 51,938,978,687 naira 81 kobo, representing an increase slightly higher than 50%. It is equally important to note that the projected internally generated revenue IGR is higher than that of the 2021 by 12,986,409,286 naira 21 kobo, representing 34.4% increase.
And for more business news, let's join Chamun Dabeng.
Nigerians will be expected to pay tax on consumption of non-alcoholic, carbonated and sweetened beverages starting this year, as contained in the new 2021 Finance Bill currently before the National Assembly. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed said this during the public presentation and breakdown of the highlights of the 2022 budget in Abuja. Ahmed said the tax seeks to discourage excessive consumption of sugar and beverages, which contributes to debilitating diseases like diabetes, obesity, and others. This is part of the government's policies to ramp up low revenues, which authorities say pose major fiscal constraints along the increasing debt. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed says there is no plan by the federal government to lay off government workers. The minister denied claims that the government was planning on sacking workers in order to save funds. She said President Muhammadu Buhari has repeatedly said no worker would be sacked. However, the minister did say the government would encourage people to leave government jobs by giving them incentives. She further stated that the government would reduce overheads by ensuring that government agencies are merged. Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency is partnering with Google Digital Skills alongside Mind the Gap and training 3,700 Nigerian youths on digital skills. This is contained in a statement by the Information and Communications Department of SMEDAN. The training, which will be carried out mainly for micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, is expected to begin across the 6 geopolitical zones on Tuesday, January 18th. Once the training is done, participants will get their business addresses on Google Maps and other.
And on the foreign scene, a Sudanese anti-coup protester was killed by security forces in Omdurman, twin city of the capital, Khartoum. Medics say thousands rally against the military. Now let's join Mardia Umar for more foreign news.
And on the foreign scene, a Sudanese anti-coup protester is killed by security forces in Omdurman, twin city of the capital, Khartoum, medics say, as thousands rally against the military. The Central Committee of Sudanese Doctors on Thursday said the unidentified protester took a live bullet to the head by the Purtkiss forces as he took part in demonstrations. The protester died a day after U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken had appealed on Twitter for Sudanese security forces to cease using lethal force against demonstrators and commit to an independent investigation. Earlier, security forces fired tear gas at protesters in the capital, Khartoum, according to witnesses and footage posted on social media as thousands of people rallied to denounce military rule across the country.
And for the latest sports news, Adeni Ajishafe is standing by.
"37 teams are expected to take part in this year's edition of Kotangura Invitational Volleyball Challenge slated for the first quarter of 2022. Sponsor of the Kotangura Invitational Challenge, Major General Taritimi Gariga. 21 teams will battle for honors in the male category, while 16 teams will vie for the top prize in the female category. Chairman, Nigerian Park Volleyball, Major General Gariga, says the objective of the competition is to complement the vision of the President of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, NVBF, Engineer Musa Nimrod, to empower youths, promote unity and sponsorship in the game of volleyball across Nigeria. Teams that have indicated interest are Defense Spikers of Abuja, Chief of Army Staff Spikers of Zaria, Navy Sailors of Lagos, NAV Rockets of Kaduna, Superstars of Kotangura, G-Rank Spikers of Kashia, Bayonet Spikers of Jaji, and Rhino of Jos. Other teams are Scorpion Spikers of Abuja, CAF Ambassadors of Kafanchan, Stinging Bees of Katari, Yelwa of Bauchi, Games Village Volleyball Club Abuja, Life Camp Volleyball Club Abuja, Victory Spikers Owerri of Volleyball Club, NASA Thunders of Nasarawa, Nile University Abuja, Niger Brass Mina, Kada Kings of Kaduna, and Katsina United Volleyball Club. League Management Company, LMC, have banished Nigerian Professional Football League.
And that concludes Trust TV News Hour for tonight. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for staying with us.